Hi everybody, it's Carol. Welcome back to my channel. And what I'm going to do is I am back for a play with the Masterboard. And I have two envelopes here that I just glued the top of the envelope together. And they are 9 inches by 9 inches by just about 24 inches. So this is going to be huge. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start decorating it, and I'm going to obviously cut this down because this is really too big to make a folio or a journal with. But I just want to get it decorated. And let me get this into camera and just take it from there. I brought along some papers here, and I'm just gonna cut this the edging off here, the white edges, because you know it's the edging when you print these papers. So I'll get them. I can actually even tear them. That's what I'm gonna do instead of wasting time to do that. And what I'm going to do is just put some paper down. I'm going to use my glue stick. And just attach it this way because this holds pretty well. Now that I have the right kind of glue stick, this here really works well for me. Oh my gosh, you know, as soon as I start filming, my doorbell just rang. And it could be Amazon or something being delivered. Oh my goodness. Wouldn't you know it? This would be my luck. Oh. And you know, my glue stick has ended. My glue stick has ended, so I have to start a new one. And I apologize for Stella's barking again. It seems like I'm always saying that. Okay, so we're gonna... Let's see. I can put this over here. Make sure I have this in camera. Now these envelopes that I'm using, they are, well, as you can see, it's a dark brown color, and I really like using these. They seem to be heavier than the regular envelopes that I have used in the past. And let's see, I brought quite a few papers here. I have music papers, ledger papers. So let's see where I can use these best. Okay, I'm just going to put it down, and whatever is loose, like hanging over here, I'll just glue stick down. Okay, these are fun papers I have. Okay, let me stick this. I'm trying to get a straight edge so I can go right into the corner. But then again, you know, whatever is hanging off the page, I'll just cut that off, so that's really not a problem. It's my doorbell. You know, my granddaughter's over, and she's 4. She could be out front and ringing the bell. Hold on one second. I'm sorry about that. It was actually my neighbor, and I wanted to say, I'm filming. Okay, so So this is looking good so far. So far, so good. And what I'm planning to do also, and I think I'll do it now, I made these envelopes just a couple of videos ago, and I was thinking what I'm going to do with these. I'm just going to open them up because I made these in mass production. So I'm going to open up the envelope, and I'm going to use, these are gorgeous. I just fell in love with these. And I think what I'm going to do is use these on my master board. And I can just, you know, like tear them up. Look how gorgeous that looks. This is the oops, this is the inside. Well, it was the back side of the envelope. These were coffee dyed. These were envelopes that I coffee dyed, and then I went to town and I decorated them with napkins, and it just turned out so good. This is the back of it. And I think I'll just, I can even use them as whole. Oops, that's getting stuck on my, maybe I'll put this on the bottom of, over here. So I'll put some glue on here. And the different colors on here I used with my inks, my distressed inks, and I just put it on my table here, like right there, and I added water to it. And it just, I layered the different paints, and it just looks so good. I was so pleased with this project. And I made mass making with these. Sometimes I think that's really the best way to go. I'm going to put this down here. I think I'm thinking too much about it. Okay. Okay, so far so good. I'm just going to tear this end off so it's not so straight. Let me bring that up into camera. Okay. So I think I probably have, I don't know, maybe 8 or 10 of these. I think I started with, I think when I made them, I think I had 10, and I only decorated some of them on camera. But I have so many more here, and I'm trying to get a pumpkin or some that because I use napkins, so I have different. And then I put gold paint on it so you can see it right there. So what I'm going to do is, oops. So I want to make sure I think I used like three or four different style napkins, and I want to make sure I have them spaced evenly throughout the this cover here, you know, because I don't want to put the same kind of napkin or design next to each other. And I'm just gonna open this up so that it'll flip, not flip, but so I'll be able to use it. And then I have my gold paint stick. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to see how I can use this without making too much of a mess. Okay, I'm just going to take this straight edge off. And I'm hoping that the other ephemera pieces I brought along, that it'll all kind of go together, because I have some vintage pieces here. But then again, I could always just make this whole cover filled with these here, if you see what I mean. Okay, so these may just take up the whole, these whole envelopes that I had. Okay, let's see. Now, right now, usually this is what happens when I make a master board and you start to make it, and it really doesn't make sense until you're all through with it, and then it'll be so much better. Okay, so I think I'm going to cut this, rip this off here as best I can, because I'm all gluey now. And I'm going to put this right over here because I have that straight edge, and I really don't want that straight edge over there. So I'm going to cover it up with that. And I'll bring in more of these papers here. Yeah, that's what I find with these glue sticks, is I can go through it so quickly. And I don't think I'm using a whole heck of a lot of it either. But I'll run through a glue stick so quickly. Now I'm going to bring this over there. I love making these master boards. They're so fun. And then when you're through with, or I find when I'm through with putting these papers down, and then when you start putting the pieces of ephemera on top of it, it just comes together so beautifully. Now I'm going to bring in some other text. This is a book page. So we'll see how far. How far I can get with this here. Okay, now of course I'm going over the page because I don't have a straight edge on the bottom, but that's fine. That's not a problem. Just trying to fill in these spaces. In my last video, I don't know if it'll be the one before that, but I was using my art glitter glue, and before I started to film, I wanted to, put more glue inside the container. And because I thought I was, running low with it, but I actually wasn't. So when I started to pour out of because I buy the larger ones, and I buy the pack that has the larger glue in there, and with the smaller bottles, and I just refill as I need. And so I had more than what I thought in there, and the glue just poured out all over everything, and I wasted a little bit. I tried to salvage what I could, and then when I started to use it, it was dripping out of the top. But what happened was there was glue, and that's what I thought had happened. There was glue around the edge of the bottle, and so the glue, it wasn't sealed, and it was just pouring out on, not pouring out, but it was coming out on my hands, and so I had to clean that all up, and all is good now. But I'm using the glue stick for this, and what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to brush this as best I can, because I'm not going to use my ink to ink the paper as I'm going right now. And what I'm thinking I'm going to do is, now this is all French paper that I had printed. It's French handwriting paper. I can't read it because I don't read French. So what I'm planning on doing is inking. I'm gonna ink it with my brush when it's on here, just to see if it'll, make the papers look a little vintage before I decorate it, and then put my final thing up, put Mod Podge on it. I love the effect that the Mod Podge gives. I like the feel of it also. It has like a, I don't know, it's not sticky, it's kind of like crunchy. But I wanted to put different color papers on here, instead of just having like just one color on here. So just use all different style handwritings. And here I have my Sears paper. I think I'm down almost to the bottom of this glue stick already. Oops. There's some parasols. Okay. I want to rip this straight edge off. Oh my gosh, I have to wipe my hands because they're getting so sticky. Just going to tear this down on the bottom. Okay, now I have these papers over here that I think I'll stick this down here. But I think I'm going to finish putting these papers down first before I put these. Oops. Still have quite a, well, just a few more little spaces here. Tear up that white. And as soon as I'm through with this master board, I will work on Christmas things. Now I think this is the end of my envelope. I think this is my third envelope I'm using already. And I really enjoy using this gold paint stick. If you can see it on here, it just looks so yummy, that gold glitter, gold shiny. Look at that mushroom. Oh my gosh, I love it. This to me is what Thanksgiving looks like. Just like back in the day. Okay, that looks good there. That fits perfect right in that spot, just like it was made for it. Some pieces they're going to have to get stuck down again, because from tearing it, I loosened it from the envelope. Okay, so this whole section is covered, so I have to go over to here now. And I think this is so pretty, look at that. I'm just going to spam caller. I have my phone down on silent, but I should have turned it off. And that wasn't very silent though, was it? Okay, so I just want to get these straight edges off. this is the right way, right side up. I'm going to tear this and just cover that there. Yes, when I was thinking, I've been thinking for the last few days that I have to make a master board. And then when I was sitting quietly thinking about my master board that I have to do, you know, this is what came to mind, was using these, my envelopes. So I got so excited about that, and I think it's turning out really well. And I'm just trying to think if I want to. I'm going to use this top. I should have my tier ruler. So this way it takes away that straight edge and it makes it look a little neater than what I have here. Just trying to see what is my best way to lay it down. I think I'm going to go that way. So today is gorgeous out again. It is in the low 70s, sunny, very little breeze, and just gorgeous. But then it's going to cool off later on. And to me, that's just perfect weather. I love this weather. Well, I just love the fall. I just love the fall. So that's why I love this time of year. Let's see what else I can put here. I'm going to use a little more of this here. And then I'll put some of that other, the pumpkins, you know, in places that would need it. Okay, so I'm going to use this over here. Yeah, I think I'm almost finished with my glue stick. I'm down to the bottom. It's like right there. So I just have a little bit left. I didn't get very far with. Well, I did. I got the whole, almost the whole masterboard covered now. But then I also have a few things that I want to stick on here. Okay, so this is what it looks like. And let's see now, I'm going to bring out my mushrooms and my toadstools. Oh, that looks so pretty there. I think I'm just going to lay them down. This is a bright, bright masterboard. Okay. Here's some dark brown ones. And I'm just going to put them down. You know, when I started with this, I really don't have any kind of laying out process in my head. You know, I really don't know how I'll be using these. Here's a whole grouping of mushrooms. Okay, this part here looks like it needs something. I don't know if I like that. I like that better. And there's so many different kind of mushrooms here. Okay, I think that's it with the mushrooms because I have other pieces of ephemera that I wanted to stick on here. Okay. Now I do have these leaves, and this is the front part of a napkin. And this is what I put the napkin on, these leafy paper. And I think what I'm going to do is stick some leafy paper this leafy paper around. Yeah, I think that's looking pretty good. What I should do is start to put that down. I think I'm going to glue hopefully my art glitter glue is going to be cooperative today, not like it was yesterday. Okay. I wonder if no, I think this is fine. I think I'm going to just put this down here because I don't want to make it look too crazy. You know, because sometimes when you're making a project, you don't know if more is less or less is more, if you know what I mean. Okay, so we'll just go piece by piece, put it down and see if it needs something else. What I do like to do, and I've done this in my earlier crafting days, is when you're putting your items down with the glue, kind of just glue it in the middle so that if you wanted to stick something underneath it, like here, you can do that. But I usually don't because I think I move quickly where I just glue the whole thing down, and then after, when I'm putting the other pieces down, I always feel like, oh, I should have put it underneath the bottom part of it. But I usually don't do that. I want to do that, but I just move so fast that I just... Because as I craft, my mind is moving too. So I think with my hands moving, my mind moving, it just gets crazy. I know that's probably a crazy way to explain it, but That's how it is. Okay. And this is, these leaf papers it's kind of thick. So it's, hopefully it's going to stick because it's kind of heavy, and I do not have my fabric glue. But when I'm through with this, my final layer on here will be, I will Mod Podge it. And I know I'm repeating myself, but I love doing a masterboard and putting the Mod Podge down. I think I like that green up there. And it's getting warm up here because I had neighbors earlier that they were mowing their lawn, and so I had my windows open because it's not hot enough to put the air on. So I had my windows open, but it was so noisy, and so I closed my windows and I have the ceiling fan on because I don't want you know who to hear the neighbors outside. So I know that's so crazy, because if I say her name, then she's gonna perk up and think, what does she have for me if I say her name? You know, dogs are really pretty clever, and you know, you know, they always seem to think you have something for them, or mine does anyway. I wonder if I think I like that. Maybe I should just kind of overwhelm this with mushrooms. Let's see, I have my, oh, look at this. Oh, I have one on the other side. I think I'm gonna, I love that one. I think I'm gonna put that one over there. And let's see if I have a smaller one. Oh my gosh, I could do this all day long. Okay, I think I better stop because I could be getting out of hand with this now. Okay. This could turn out to be a clustered, or a, what do you call it? Tina made something not too long ago, and I think it was a overly clustered project. I think it was a masterboard. She just had that thing filled with different pieces of ephemera. And it turned out really nice. So I think I'll get everything on here. Oh, that's one of my favorite mushrooms there. And I think I'm going to put, I think I'm going to get tags and different things for that to put on here also. Okay, I think we're filled with mushrooms. I see a few places where I could put more. That probably looks like it should go here. I think so. I'm just going to stick down some mushrooms and gosh, I'm going to save some of these places for other things. But it is getting kind of clustered. And I think I'm going to come back and let me get this covered because we're running a little long. So I think I'm going to end it here today, and then we'll be back with finished up decorating, and then we'll Mod Podge it. Will be the next video because this is really huge. This is like, what did I say, 20 almost 24 inches. It's almost 24 inches long, and it's, I believe, 9 and a half tall. So anyway, thank you so much for coming along and mushroom decorating my master board, and we'll be back with the rest of the decorating. Bye-bye. Have a great day. Bye-bye.